A'udhu billahi minash shaitwanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Assalamu alaikum students. Today we are going to start new Oxford Modern English book for class 6. I welcome you all and I hope you are in touch with your studies and you are through with your summer task. Let's start the unit number 1, which is Nicobobanus. We are going to discuss chapter number 1. This is written by let's talk about the author who wrote, or what are we reading about. Nicobobanus is written by whom? Let's see. It says these are the first two chapters from a novel called Nicobobanus by Terry Jones. It is full of humor and adventure, and you should read the whole novel if you get a chance. Beside writing books and poems, Terry Jones is a comedian, screenwriter, actor, director, and historian. Now, Terry Jones wrote this novel, Nicobobanus, and it says that only chapter 1 and 2 are included in our course, and if somebody wish to, they can go through the entire novel. And Terry Jones is a famous comedian. He's a screenwriter, he's actor, director, and historian. Terry Jones died this January in 2020. He died on 21st of January. And let's see, what is he talking about, Nicobobanus? It's a story of a small boy. And let's see, usually we know that boys are very naughty as compared to girls. Girls are also, but boys are difficult to handle and to understand. You can expect anything from them. So let's see what happens and how the writer is explaining Nicobobanus. This is the story of the most extraordinary child who ever stuck his tongue out at the Prime Minister. His name was Nicobobanus. He lived in a long time ago in a city called Venice, and he could do anything. Now the introduction is given. In the very first line it says that Nicobobanus is a very extraordinary child. He's not like normal kids. He's extraordinary. He's unusual. You can expect anything from him. And it says that he lived in a city called Venice, and it says that you can expect anything from him. He can do anything that is unusual, which can create problem for him, for his family. And let's see what happens. Of course, not everybody knew he could do anything. In fact, only his best friend Rosie knew, and nobody took any notice of anything Rosie said, because she was always having wild ideas anyway. Now, Nicobobanus had a friend, and she's a girl. Her name is Rosie. And it says that Rosie was aware, she knew it, how much extraordinary Nicobobanus was and how he could do anything. But if Rosie tell anyone, nobody would take notice of Rosie. What is she talking about? If you have noticed, even in our daily routine life, we never pay attention as such when the kids tell us the stories of their friends, especially the small kids, because the way they are trying to tell us, we feel as if they don't understand, and they're trying to tell you all what happened all day long in the classroom, or if they have met their cousins or whatever. So we just say, yes, I'm listening, acha, this is how we react to them. So Rosie was the kind of student that people wouldn't notice what is she saying. So Rosie would give wild ideas to Nicobobanus. Now, wild ideas can be very dangerous. It can be put you in the trouble, and it can be anything that it can be a difficult situation to handle. One day, for example, now the writer over here is telling us that there were many unusual things they did, but one day, for example, what happened? Rosie said to Nicobobanus, let's pull up every single weed on your doorstep. You can expect such kind of things from kids, that they will do those things which we feel are very they're not important, or they're very useless, and we say like, why do you waste so much time on these things? So one day Rosie was asking Nico Bobinus that let's pull every weed. Weed are the plants, the unwanted plants that grow itself in a garden or in a place or anywhere. You must have seen those wild grasses. If you have a lawn, if you have a garden, you must have noticed that you will plant one plant and you can see extra grass with it, and you can see those wild grass grown with it. They grow by themselves. So she said to Nico Bobinus that let's pull up every weed which is there on the doorstep. Let's not, said Nico Bobinus, which is what Rosie thought he would say. Now Rosie knew how will Nico Bobinus react, because they were friends, and when you have a friend, you are aware what are their likes, what are their dislikes, what things you can expect from them, and you know sometimes the answer they will give you, because we have spent so much time with each other that you are aware of each other so much that you know how will they react. Same is the case with Rosie, that she knew that Nico Bobinus will reject this idea, but still she told him. In that case, replied Rosie, let's discover the land of dragons. Don't be daft, said Nico Bobinus. How can we do that? Now, Rosie, on the one hand, is asking Nico Bobinus that let's pull every weed, every unwanted wild plant which is there, or wild grass on your doorstep. And the other option she gave was, let's discover the land of dragon. Now this is something, a very foolish idea because even Nico Bobinus responded, don't be daft, don't be silly, how stupid. What kind of idea is this? And he says that how can we do that? Because you can do anything, said Rosie. Now Rosie over here is encouraging Nico Bobinus, and she says that why not? You can do it because you can do anything. So this makes him feel that yes, he can do anything, and she is motivating him. So the next morning, just as it was getting light, Rosie threw little pebbles up at Nico Bobinus' shutter. Nico Bobinus was still half asleep when he looked out. What's the matter, Rosie? He asked. Shh, whispered Rosie. I've got the buns and the lemonade. Now what happened, that the very next day, when it was early in the morning, the light was not there, enough light was not there, it was dawn time, and Nico Bobinus was sleeping, and she took small pebbles of stones. It were not big stones, they were very small pieces. So they are called pebbles. So she took the pebbles and she was hitting the window, the shutter of the window, the Nico Bobinus room window, and she was hitting it and she was trying to make him awake. And when Nico Bobinus was half asleep and he was just rubbing his eyes and he was looking out of the window, what is it going on? And he saw Rosie was there, and he says, what's wrong? What are you doing here? She says, she make him stop. Shh, don't make noise. She says, I've got the buns and the lemonade. Now she is telling that I have bun in which we eat the burger, we keep those chicken patties in it and all that, and lemonade is a juice. Now she's not telling why is she there. She's telling that I have buns and I have lemonade. Now Nico Bobinus says, what for? Supplies for the road, whispered Rosie. Where are we going? Asked Nico Bobinus. We are going to find the land of dragons, whispered Rosie. Don't you remember? Oh, I thought you might have forgotten about that, said Nico Bobinus. No fear, said Rosie. It's one of the best ideas I've ever had. What about the weeding? Said Nicobominus. Come on, said Rosie. Now what happens? That when she awakes him and he's rubbing his eyes and he come near the window and he look at Rosie who is there down on the road, and she's saying that come and I have some buns and lemonade. So Nicobominus asked that what for? Why are you saying this, that you have all these things? She says these are the supplies for the road. Supplies for the road over here means that while we will be having journey, and what if we get hungry, so I have buns and I have a lemonade juice. Even in our normal routine life, we also, all of us, if we travel somewhere, we take with ourselves those Lays, chips and juices and all these kind of things with our kids, and we ourselves also that what if I get hungry, so I can get something, snacks. So Nicobominus says, where are we going? Like, you got the lemonade, you got the buns, but where are we going? So she reminds him. She says, don't you remember? We are going to discover the land of the dragons. So he says, oh, I thought you forgot about that. So she says, no fear. No. She says, it is one of the best ideas I've ever had. Rosie was feeling happy that this was her idea, and she says, this is one of her best ideas. So Rosie is telling him that don't be afraid. No fear over here means don't be afraid. It's all right. And she said, so Nicobominus respond to this in this way, that what about weeding? Your first option was to pull up every weed which is there on the doorstep. So she says that, come on, forget about that. So they set off through the early morning town. When they got to the end of the narrow street where they lived, and they met a night watchman who said, where are you two going at this hour? Now what happens? You people must have noticed, even in our streets, we have a night watchman, the person who look after our houses and for our security. They spend whole night in our street. So when the night watchman saw the two kids early in the morning in the street, so them stop, and he's asking them that what are they doing? So we are going to look for the land of dragons, said Nicobominus. You can't do that at this time of the morning, said the night watchman. But before he could grab them, Rosie and Nicobominus were sprinting away as fast as they could. Now what happens? That when the night watchman make the kids stop at the street, that what are they doing? So Nicobominus tell him that they are going to find and they are going to discover the land of the dragons. So the night watchman says that no, you can't do this at this time in the morning. And before the night watchman could grab them, could hold them, Rosie and Nicobominus started running, and they started so fast that they, in the next paragraph it says that they crossed 3 bridges. They ran as fast as they could because they want to escape from the night watchman, and they want to go to the place where they have decided. They wanted to discover the land of dragons, and they didn't stop running until they had crossed 3 bridges and tripped over a dog that was lying asleep under a garden wall. Rosie's bottle of lemonade smashed against the wall, and the dog leaped to its feet, barking as if it had thought dogs' doomsday had arrived. For a moment they were sure it was going to bite them, but then it noticed the 2 buns that had rolled into the gutter, and it wolfed them down, barked, thank you, and ran off to tell its friends. Now over here the writer is explaining the entire situation, that when the 2 kids dodged the night watchman and they got this that they could escape from him, and they were running so fast that they were in a speed that they crossed 3 bridges, and while in a hurry, and that they were so much fast, the lemonade bottle that Rosie was having, it just fell from her, and it hit the wall of a garden, and it smashed, it got broken, and all the juice was, what can you say, that it fell down, and it was, what should I say, that the juice उसके हाथ से गिर गया, and the juice was no more there. So what happened, that they were in so much hurry that the bottle hit the wall and it was gone, and that sound of the bottle hitting the wall awake a dog which was sleeping under that wall. And when the dog opened the eyes, because his sleep got disturbed, and he started barking, and he was barking so loudly as if it is his doomsday. Doomsday means the last day of the world, जिसे हम कहते हैं कयामत. So Rosie is saying that वो इतनी बुरी तरह भौंक रहा था जैसे इसका दुनिया में आखिरी दिन हो. So it was something which was very scary and which made them very much confused. So what happened, that even we human beings are the same. If somebody disturbs our sleep, so we react very harshly. What is this? We can't sleep for a moment. You people are making noise. This is how we react. I myself react the same way. If somebody disturbs my sleep, I say, 2 minute की नींद नसीब नहीं है हमें. This, all of us do the same. So this is how even the dog reacted. Why? Because even the dog got afraid. What happened? Because he was sleeping, and when the bottle hit the wall, so that sound which was there, it disturbed him. So for a moment they felt, Nico Bobinus and Rosie felt, that the dog is about to bite them. But then they were looking at the dog, that actually the dog eyes were focusing on the buns which were rolling to the gutter. So the dog was looking that yes, the food is there. So rather than biting the kids, the dog was giving a thank you expression to them, and he just went to call his friends that they are going to have party. The dog and his friends are going to have party. We are not going to get far without supplies, said Rosie gloomily. Now what happened, that when the lemonade was gone, the buns went to the gutter. Now Rosie got upset and she got sad, and she was telling Nico Bobinus that they cannot go far, because if they don't have food with them, they can't travel for a long time. I wonder if I could pick a few of those, said Nico Bobinus, gazing up at the apple tree on the other side of the garden wall. Now Nico Bobinus was actually having a look around what is there in the surrounding. So he saw that in the garden where they was, on the other side of the wall were apple trees. So he was gazing, he was scanning the entire location. So of course you can, said Rosie, stand on my shoulders. Even in the previous page, we have seen that Rosie is the one who motivates and who encourages Nico Bobinus that he can do anything. And now once again, she's telling him that so what, if the apples are there on the tree, you can get them. So he is looking this, is giving the expression that how, and she's just get over my shoulders, just climb it and go and get it. So she says that stand on my shoulders and try to grab them. So Nico Bobinus stood on Rosie's shoulder and climbed onto the wall, but the tree was further away than he thought. And as he reached out, he lost his balance and fell with a crash down in the most magnificent garden he had ever been in. Now what happened that the both kids, as Rosie motivated him, she encouraged him that stand on my shoulder and you will be able to reach the tree and you can get those apples. He did the same, but while he raised his hand for getting the trees, his body balance got disturbed. It got they couldn't maintain that balance, so Nicobominus fell into the garden, and when he had a crash on it and when he fell over in the garden, he had a look at the garden and he said it was a magnificent one. It was beautiful and it was very huge and very well maintained and a disciplined and beautiful garden. So he says that I've never seen a garden like this before. Nicobominus looked back up at the high wall, but there was no way he could climb back. What am I going to do? He yelled. Yelled means shout. You will think of something, Rosie yelled back, crossing her fingers very hard. Now what happened that when he fell into the garden, Nicobominus, he first of all had a look at the garden and he said that it was a beautiful one. And then he was looking back at the wall where Rosie was there and he was looking and he said, how will I climb and how will I come back? As usual, the Rosie response was, you will manage it. Of course you can and you will do something. So she respond in such when she's crossing her fingers like this very hard. She knew it was hard, but she was motivating Nicobominus that yes, you can do it. So what happened? Oe, said a voice behind Nicobominus. Nicobominus didn't stop to look who it was. He ran straight into a tree. He heard somebody called Nicobominus, Oe! So he didn't look back who it was, but he just got up and straight away started running into the trees. Got you, said the voice, and Nicobominus felt 5 thick fingers on his neck. He tried to run, but before that, that man held his neck with his, and he could feel those 5 fingers on his neck when he was holding it from the back. Oh, said Nicobominus, I've been waiting for you, said the voice, and Nicobominus felt 5 more thick fingers round his wrist. But Nicobominus, instead of trying to run away, doubled himself up and went backward as fast as he could, so the man's legs were knocked from under him and he landed in a pile of leaves. Now what happened that when he tried to run into the tree, somebody held his neck and he could feel those 5 fingers, and the next thing which happened that somebody was holding his wrist. The other hand was holding with wrist his very tightly. So he said that I've got you. The man was telling him that I got you. But rather than he would say sorry, Nicobominus, or he would make excuse or anything, he didn't try to move forward. He thought of an idea that if he is holding me this much hard, he doubled his strength, he made himself ready for it, and he pulled the man in the backward position. This made the man balance moved and he couldn't control himself standing, and he just went directly into the pile of leaves, the collection of leaves which were lying over there. Are you all right? Called Rosie, but she didn't hear any reply except for the man who growled. Now Rosie was watching all this, whatever was happening in the garden. Nicobominus succeeded in getting rid of that man by pulling him backward. So she's asking, are you all right? She's asking Nicobominus. But Nicobominus didn't reply, and she can only hear the growling of that man. That man was shouting and screaming, and he was saying something in anger. Just you wait, both of you. Now the man is responding, just you wait. He's telling Nico Bobinus and Rosie that just wait. Oh dear, said Rosie, sounds like trouble, and she was right. Now what happens? That now Rosie realizes that they are in a big trouble. This is chapter number 1. I hope the things are clear. In next video we'll explain chapter number 2, inshallah. Allah Hafiz.